Is your RV refrigerator keeping up with the summer heat? We found an answer.
I am so excited because one of the things that I like better than anything in the world is really cold milk. And our refrigerator just isn't doing the job. So we got a tip from the Monaco Owners Group on Facebook about this fan unit you can install in our RV refrigerator. And it just got here, so I'm opening it here for the first time. There are 5 fans. And I got to move back a little bit. There are 5 fans, and this installs right on the fins in front, and here's the mounting bracket, came with it as well. So we're going to take you through the steps of installing this refrigerator fan unit. So the unit came with this one-page instructions, and I'll be honest, they're not really very clear. I've read them about 5 or 6 times, and I'm finally kind of getting the idea. So what they've given you is the side mount brackets, and these brackets have Velcro on them, and they also have the corresponding piece of Velcro. They have these little pins, and I don't know if you can see them. I'll put them in the GoPro. There's little pins here that are guide pins. And what they do is they go right, and this guides right up onto the side of the first fin in on this side and that side, and you're gonna Velcro it to that. And then from there, we're gonna take the wiring harness, and they're saying that they do not want you to put it to the light, which I'm not quite sure why I understand, but they don't want you to put it to the light. They want you to feed this wire here down the drain and then go to the back of the refrigerator outside. To get the power wire into the drain hose that's down here, we're gonna have to remove this shelf. Now on this Norchold refrigerator, you can see right here and on this side as well, there's these holders that hold these shelves in, so when you're traveling down the road, they don't go flying. So we're gonna have to take those out first. So now we can take this shelf out. I'll put it on the table over there. And I can even take this drain dip out, but I don't really have to because that hose we had from the outside is also right here on the inside. So it turns out feeding this wire through the tube back here to get it to the outside is a little more difficult than we thought. So we had to go to plan B, which is we went and got some galvanized steel wire at Walmart, believe it or not. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to take this, because this is just not sturdy enough to push through and make the turn out there. So what we're gonna do is we're going to try to fish this through, then we'll attach this to this, and hopefully we'll be able to pull it right out the other side. So when I cut the end of this off, it was a little bit sharp, so we just put a little bit of electrical tape on the end just so there's not a sharp, and I didn't want to cut through the rubber of this. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to try very hard to feed this down the tube, and hopefully it's going to be able to make it around the bend. So we'll be able to pull our electrical wire through.
They're lying. Do we really need unlimited data? Go RV Wireless. Easy to use, up to 10 devices, no monthly fees. Find the strongest signal where you are. Use coupon code TODAY for a $50 savings.
Our wire coming through the tube on the outside. So here's the wire in the tube, and it's coming down just perfect. We're gonna put the tube back into this little drainage hole here, and that brings our wire here. Now the next thing we have to do is find out where we're going to grab our power from. So after reading the manual real quick, it looks like this connection right here is a permanent, always on 12-volt connection. So I'm going to just test it real quick and put my hot there, and I'm going to put my ground down here where there's a little screw down here I can tap my ground to, and just see if I can get a 12-volt reading here, and there we go. I've got a good 12-volt reading off of this wire right here and the ground to the refrigerator. So I just need to put the supplied ends on and we'll get this thing rolling. So before we put the hot wire in, we've turned the power to the coach off. So the 12-volt power to the coach is off. Now they supplied us with what they call a tap switch. Okay, so this is a tap connector. So what's gonna happen here is the connector that we had before is gonna go on to this side of the tap connector. So that's what was connected to the power before, is this one right here. And then this side of the tap connector is gonna go back right into where the power is coming from. This can actually be pushed down a little bit so it'll fit in there. You want to make sure that you have a nice good connection in there. And because this connection is not quite covering the connector here, I'm going to go ahead and tape the outside of this so you don't have hot power touching anything. So I got a really good connection here now, but we're going to get some black electrical tape and we'll just wrap that up so there's no exposed out here, so when we're driving down the road you don't accidentally just arc on something. I think one of the most important things when you're doing a project like this is having an assistant behind you, especially when you're trying to videotape it. So I've got just a plain old ordinary paper towel, and the first thing I'm going to do is go into this fin where I'm going to put the Velcro piece. I'm gonna try to dry this fin up as much as I possibly can. And then I'm gonna have Patti give me some alcohol on one of these little alcohol swabs. And I'm coming in here and I'm gonna rub that baby with alcohol. And there we go. Now we're gonna let that dry for a second. Velcro strips, the other side of that Velcro strip. And I am gonna put it right where the instructions tell me to put it, at the top and then to the very outside. Actually, I'm going to move the GoPro first so we can actually see what we're doing here. And we're gonna put this Velcro strip right in there and try to line it up as nice as possible. Now I have the two brackets here on both sides, one on each side with the Velcro, and it is pre-wired running down into my drainage there. So now I'm gonna line up those pins, the one on the top and the two on the side. Just let me get behind this wire, pushing this bracket back so it is on the pins, and then kind of got to stick my finger in there so it'll stick on the Velcro properly. And then I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side, although the Velcro kind of got stuck on this side. So we're gonna just go ahead and do the same thing to the other side, getting that top pin right on the line. Where is it? There we go. And getting it back in there, and there we go. I'm up against the other pins. Now I'm gonna put my finger up behind and try to get the Velcro. Unfortunately, when you do the right side, the left side is kind of fighting against the right side, so you got to make sure you put your finger up inside there to hold it on both sides. And the point of this now is that these fans are actually going to blow against your cooling fans in the back, keeping good airflow going through all of them. Okay, so now we have our fan unit installed. We have the wire going to the outside. We're all ready to go. We have our shelf put together. We have our lock mechanism back in place. Now, I want to point out real quick that there are 4 different dip switches here, and these switches actually turn on and off these extras, so you don't have to run all 5 all the time if you don't want to. But the center one does run all the time.